This is the story of the one. As head of maintenance at a concert hall, he knows the show must always go on. That's why he works behind the scenes, ensuring every light is working, the HVAC is humming, and his facility shines. With Grainger's supplies and solutions for every challenge he faces, plus 24/7 customer support, his venue never misses a beat. Call quickgrainger.com or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
O'Neill, Joe Dredge.
The show goes on!
Mornings on WROK. Over 95 years in the books and still on top. This is Rockford's News Talk 1440 WROK.
7 minutes after 8. News Talk 1440 WROK. Riley and Joe on a Monday morning, brought to you by Wild Rose Casino and Resort in Clinton, Iowa. You're 90 minutes away from a great time. It's cloudy and 44, feels like 37 because of the wind coming at us out of the southeast at right the southwest at 12 miles an hour. Daytime high today, 48. Very minor chance of us drawing some rain, although it looks like it could rain. We've only got a 7% chance. Tomorrow, that's up to a 45% chance, but the temp's up as well. We'll be up around the 60 mark. Same for Wednesday. Only some sunshine should come through and only a 20% chance of drawing rain. Thursday's 45 with a 50% chance. Friday is 40 with also a 50% chance, but that is of a wintry mix.
You said sun a time or two in there, but I
Wednesday only.
I have a feeling like gray is going to be a big theme.
It does appear that way. Wednesday will give us some partial sun, but the rest of the week, as I'm looking at it, looks cloudy, and other than today, could be wet.
Okay,
so
ready.
Got that going for us. 10 days from now, it will be the 110th anniversary of the sinking of the Titanic.
Okay.
You and I we've talked Titanic from time to time, different the court case about whether or not to get the radio out of there.
Yes,
or the telegraph that was, I believe a judge said, yeah, go ahead and grab it. And they either did or have a plan on getting it out of the wreck and brought back up.
I'm team get whatever you want out of there.
Kind of. Mm-hmm. And we wondered, what kind of stuff have they brought up from the Titanic? Mental Floss did a little digging into this one. They say 7 trips have been made to the ship's debris field since 1987, 2 years after the Titanic wreck had been discovered.
Okay.
So 7 trips down to the debris field and more than 5,500 artifacts have been salvaged.
It's a lot.
That is a lot.
How do we salvage 5,500 artifacts and we're pitching a fit about a radio down there?
Well, because these artifacts were pulled from the debris
fit about a radio down there.
Well, because these artifacts were pulled from the debris field. The Marconi telegraph would be pulled from the big part of the ship, from the bridge, I believe.
Okay.
So some of the things that they found, just a partial list, an alligator purse.
Okay.
British milliner Marion Meanwell boarded Titanic. Among her belongings was a luxury item, an alligator purse. She was moving to the U.S. to live with her daughter and grandkids, wasn't supposed to be on the Titanic, but ended up grabbing a third-class ticket after the other ship she was due to travel on was taken out of service. Within her bag were things like her marriage license, a receipt for a canary she was transporting for a relative, and a note from a former landlord vouching for her ability to reliably pay rent.
Okay, very nice.
The papers survived thanks to the fact that they were in this alligator purse. It kept what was inside safe from the harsh marine environment.
Oh, well, it makes sense.
Conservator David Galusha, quote, the thickness of the alligator skin. The quality is no comparison to what you would find today. There was a general attitude at the time of making things durable, things that would stand the test of time. That purse did.
Yeah, it did.
Marion Meanwell, however, did not. She did not survive the sinking of the Titanic.
Okay. But everything inside of it was preserved, too?
Everything inside of it was fine. Yep. Her marriage license, the receipt for the canary, note from a landlord, all of it just fine inside the alligator skin purse.
Good look for gators right there.
Right. Mm-hmm. Vials of perfume.
Okay.
On a 2000 salvage mission, RMS Titanic Inc. nabbed a leather pouch, and as salvage expert Dick Martin told ABC News, we didn't know what we discovered until we hit the surface. When they brought the pouch to the ship's lab and opened it up, a fragrance filled the entire lab with Edwardian perfume.
Okay, Edwardian perfume.
The pouch contained small vials of perfume samples, some had broken, belonging to a 47-year-old perfume maker named Adolf Safeld, first-class passenger from Manchester. Several other pouches bearing his name were discovered and all included samples of perfume, 62 of them in all. Mr. Safeld, by the way, survived the disaster, left the pouches behind when he fled the ship.
Okay.
After being retrieved from the depths, the scent had a second life. According to ABC, the perfume was broken down into its component chemicals to recreate the fragrance. The
cool.
result was Legacy 1912, which, according to QVC, quote, has the fragrance of delicate lemon and nerolus alongside blushing rose and warm sheer ember. The packaging design was based on a door that was also brought up from the wreck.
Okay.
That's pretty cool.
You can still get it.
Yeah, you can.
You get a
Look
price
at that.
here?
Amazon.
But
Of course, why wouldn't Titanic stuff be on the Amazon? On Amazon?
I can't find it so far in Amazon. Is it on eBay somewhere?
But if you're a perfume person, Legacy
Yeah.
1912.
Oh, there we go.
Legacy 1912. What, $32
$32
a bottle?
bucks.
$59 a bottle
A little bit
for
more.
2.5 ounces.
Okay, I don't know. I haven't bought perfume in a minute. I don't know if that's a good deal or not.
I would love to have been in the lab and they opened it up to see what it smelled like. That would be kind of cool.
Like, what if it stunk?
Right. Ooh, this is awful. Break it down. Other things brought up from the Titanic. Bronze cherub, 1987. They brought up a rare artifact, a bronze cherub believed to come from a light fixture on one of the ship's staircases.
Okay.
They're debating which staircase at this particular point. The statue was missing both its torch and its left foot, which may have been lost when it was wrenched off the post it was mounted on.
Okay.
There's a bejeweled bracelet. Bracelet has a 15-karat rose gold band with silver overlay and the name Amy encrusted with diamonds.
Oh, you should get it.
I know. I was just thinking
Good
this
for
would be
Amy.
a great birthday gift for my wife. It was found in a leather bag that, according to the Titanic folks, may have been left with the purser, whose duties included the safekeeping of passengers' valuables. The owner has never been officially identified. But in the book, Titanic, Women and Children First, author Judith B. Geller theorizes it might belong to third-class passenger Amy Stanley, who was en route to Connecticut to take a position as a domestic working for the Dan family of New Haven. She seems to be the only person named Amy on the Titanic, and she survived.
I was going to say, they had to be kind of easy to nail down.
How many Amy's did we have? One.
I mean, Amy
I
was
think it's hers.
Amy, not a wildly popular name.
In 1912, I don't know what its number was on the popularity charts, but I don't think it was wildly popular.
But I think we should be able to narrow down.
Right.
Who
But
knows
the other
Amy?
question then would be, would someone who's taking a job as a domestic have a 15-karat rose gold band with silver overlay and the name Amy encrusted with diamonds? Chances are she would not.
Very good point.
So
Somebody has to know
then
who
it's
that's
somebody
for.
had a daughter, a granddaughter, a niece, a goddaughter,
or maybe a mistress.
a paramour. Could have been any of those things.
I mean, that's the, you know what? Yeah, maybe it was a mistress. That way nobody
Maybe it was a
claimed
Love Actually kind of thing. They found a Joni Mitchell CD and a really, really beautiful diamond bracelet. We don't know who they were going to.
Which one for who?
Which one? Not for the wife. The deck bell. Artifacts salvaged by the Titanic include the bronze deck bell that a lookout named Frederick Fleet rang when he spotted the iceberg. They recovered that bell in 1987.
Is that bell somewhere?
It is somewhere.
Ring it?
I don't know. I don't know. It's good.
Somewhere?
It is somewhere. I don't know. It's a good question. Sheet music. At least two pieces of sheet music have been recovered from the Titanic. On Mobile Bay, a piece written around 1910, and Put Your Arms Around Me, Honey, from the Broadway musical Madame Sherry.
Okay.
Later artifact belonged to Howard Irwin, who was traveling around the world with a friend. The final part of their trip was to be the Titanic's maiden voyage. Mr. Irwin, however, missed the ship. He may have been robbed not long before the Titanic departed, but both his friend and his belongings made it onto the ship. Sadly, Irwin's friend, Henry Soothall Jr., didn't make it. The sheet music, though, was recovered from the ship in 1993.
Interesting.
The idea that sheet music would survive 2 miles down on the ocean floor.
I don't know how any of this paperwork is making it up.
The logometer, which was used to determine the speed at which the ship was sailing, as well as the distance it had covered, trailed behind the Titanic. Beginning at noon on April 14th, 1912, the device logged 268 nautical miles.
Interesting. Is it logometer or logometer?
It's logometer.
It is?
I'm
Okay.
sure it is.
All right.
And a piece of the hull is another one. 13 by 30 foot section of the hull, known as the big piece, weighs 15 tons.
They brought it up?
Yep. First spotted in 94. After a 1996 salvage operation failed when a cable holding the piece snapped, it was successfully grabbed up in 1998. Tom Zeller, president of Premier Exhibition, said that when the piece, which comes from the ship's starboard side, was brought up from the depths, it was covered with sea life, green and mossy, red, and all these crazy colors. After the recovery, it was desalinized and treated to help slow rusting and erosion. The larger portholes looked into cabins, while the smaller portholes were for bathrooms. Those portholes still contain the glass that was in them.
Interesting.
Can you imagine trying to haul up a 15-ton piece of metal 2 miles? At what point did the cable snap?
Yeah, 15
And was
tons.
anything below it when that happened? Get out of the way, get out of the way, we got a problem.
I don't know how you lift something 15 tons. When was that salvaged?
Let's see,
You got a
that
year
was
in there?
brought up in 1998. They
98?
first spotted
Okay.
it in 94. They tried to bring it up in 96, but the cable snapped. 2 years later in 98, they successfully raised it with the use of the flotation bags.
Man. Still hunting stuff down, 80 years after it goes down?
Yeah,
Okay.
crazy. A bowler hat, fashionable accessory for men at the time of the Titanic's maiden voyage, not protected by a bag or a trunk, but survived in relatively good condition anyway, sitting on the seafloor. Recovered in 1993. The only thing missing, the brim.
Okay. So it's just a fez at this point,
Pretty
right?
much.
Okay.
First class and third class China. According to Titanic's folks, only elite first class passengers would have used the cobalt blue and gold china, which was made by Spode China Limited, a company that is still around today. Third class china, meanwhile, was also likely used by the crew. Third class china was open stock, white pieces with a white Star Line logo printed in a single red color, which eliminated the need for expensive hand decorating. Well, they brought up both.
I like how we have a class system just for what we eat on.
Yep. Yeah, we sure do. Wool vest belonged to third-class passenger William Henry Allen, who died in the disaster. The vest was found in his suitcase, appeared to be pressed and ready to wear at an exhibition leading up to the auction of artifacts in 2012.
Okay.
Dress boots that Mr. Allen also owned were also pulled up from the wreckage. Imagine that. You're dead, but they found your luggage.
Yeah. You want it back?
You got that vest and shoes that you won't need anymore.
There's that belt.
And the unsinkable Molly Brown's necklace, maybe, it says.
Okay.
1913, Ms. Brown filed a $27,887 insurance claim on property lost in the Titanic disaster. Among the items she claimed were 2 pairs of slippers, furs, and 14 hats, as well as a $20,000 necklace, which, by the way, in today's money, $539,000.
It's a nice piece of jewelry.
87, Titanic brought up a Gladstone bag that contained a number of jewels, including a necklace with 3 unrefined gold nuggets that is believed to have belonged to Molly Brown, whose husband made his money in the mining industry.
Good place.
Hence
to
the
get it.
gold nuggets.
Trying to find this necklace by Molly Brown.
But, yeah.
Is this it? Yeah.
Yeah, number says contained the necklace with 3 unrefined gold nuggets.
Yeah, here it is.
There it
Those
is.
are large
Wow,
nuggets.
those are. Yeah, that's the kind of thing. If you're pan and a mule standing next to you, that mule's going to hear you screaming.
Wow, what a piece of jewelry.
That's pretty cool.
It's very cool. I mean, have you ever seen just nuggets
Nope.
hanging off a necklace before?
I have not. That's gorgeous.
That is nice.
And $539,000 in today's value, at the time worth $20,000.
15 million pounds. At auction.
Gone up a little bit
Little
since then.
bit.
Yeah, I think that maybe the pedigree on it probably has raised the price
I think
just a
so.
little bit.
That's awesome. So we're 110 years away?
On the 14th, 10 days from now, we'll be 110 years away from the sinking of the Titanic.
I think we're primed to get, I think, the Titanic conspiracy theory in the cultural zeitgeist again.
Sure.
I mean, that's one of my...
J.P. Morgan and the conspiracy that it was not the Titanic that went down, but it was the Olympic instead.
The Olympic, that's right.
I have a piece that I have actually set aside for
Good.
Anniversary Day that discusses that.
Yeah, we'll talk about that.
Which is the one of the conspiracy theories that is not quite as easy to put to bed as the others. Although those who are trying to disprove it say it's quite easy to put it to bed, but it's not.
Well, the pictures are pretty solid.
Yeah, that's the thing. Some of the physical evidence that shows in on this one about how windows were aligned and the different small design differences between the two ships and how the Olympics photos that were taken of it, what was above water, match up perfectly with it on the bottom of the ocean, yet the Titanic's photos that were taken above water don't.
And some of the people that didn't make the trip is
for odd reasons.
For very odd reasons.
But apparently that maybe the payout that everyone claims would have been the motivation for it was not what they thought it would be. So we'll see. But yeah, in about 10 days we can dig into that one and some other what's the title of this piece? Some twisted Titanic myths.
I'm telling you, that's
or debunked.
I mean, that the Titanic conspiracy, that is rife for like a TikTok series.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, it'd be really good.
Well, it's rife for a movie.
No, it is.
Even if you just said this is a work of fiction, but what if?
Ooh, yeah.
I think it would be. I think it'd be well worth a look.
James Cameron's got money and time. Make that one.
Absolutely, especially the time part.
Yeah.
8:21. Here's Hannity.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer, he hears things differently. To the untrained ear, everything on his shop floor might sound fine, but he can hear gears grinding or a belt slipping. So he steps in to fix the problem at hand before it gets out of hand. And he knows Grainger's got the right product he needs to get the job done, which is music to his ears. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Over 95 years in the books and still on top. This is Rockford's News Talk 1440 WROK.
It's 8:27 at News Talk 1440 WROK. Temps pretty much where they've been all morning long. It's cloudy. It's 44. It feels like 38. We'll have news in 2 minutes.
Riles, I got stuff to give away. We got stuff to give away all
What do we have?
week. The Fab Four are back, Riles, and we've got a pair of tickets every day this week to go see the Beatles performing, or the Beatles cover band performing at the Coronado PAC October 7th later this year. Here's the blurb. If you want to experience the best Beatles tribute ever, you won't want to miss the Fab Four Ultimate Tribute. The Emmy Award-winning Fab Four is elevated far above every other Beatles tribute.
They are.
Due to their precise attention to detail with uncanny note-for-note live renditions of Beatles classics such as Can't Buy Me Love, Yesterday, A Day in the Life, Twist and Shout, Here Comes the Sun, and Hey Jude. The Fab Four will make you think you were watching the real thing. You've seen them, right?
I have a couple of different times, and everything they said there is accurate.
Is outstanding.
They're amazing.
I was unfamiliar with them until I think 3 years ago or something. I was taking an Uber ride here, and the Uber driver out of nowhere, and the Fab Four weren't even in town. He started asking me about it. He's like, "Do you know about this Fab Four cover band?" I was like, "No." He started playing me some of it. Like this guy was the biggest Fab Four fan ever.
They sound to where it's. Which one is that?
Really? Okay.
Sure? Yeah, I mean,
it's that close.
Yeah, it's that close. The movements, the dialogue. Yeah, note for note. I mean, they really go above and beyond.
We getting the costume changes and everything.
Oh yeah.
Everybody do a bunch of drugs when they get to the end of the show for the 70s.
I can't speak for the rest of the audience. I was fine with the Coke that I was having. I don't know what everyone else was doing.
All right, we'll be good there. So we'll give that away to caller number 3. What's the number, Rouse?
815-398-9765. 815-398-WROK.
Sounds good. Yeah, we'll caller 3. We'll get the pair of tickets. We got 4 more to give away throughout the week. If we remember every day, it'll be one a day.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be amazing if we remember every day, but we'll try.
50% chance of that. So
Sure.
Stay tuned for Friday. You might get to double up there. But whoa, people are excited about
I'm
this
telling
one.
you, these guys are fantastic. This is not one of those, oh man, this is the lamest. No, this is a real time machine kind of thing.
We may be breaking phone lines right here. We got to get to it.
I like it.
Over 95 years in the books and still on top. This is Rockford's News Talk 1440 WROK.
8:35, News Talk 1440 WROK. It's Riley and Joe Monday. It's cloudy and 45, feels like 38. Daytime high today, 48. We'll be near 60 tomorrow at 58. Chance of rain, though. 58 again on Wednesday, 45. Thursday, 40 on Friday. Today and Wednesday look to be the dry days. We'll see what the other three have in store for us. But wintry mix is part of one of them. Friday.
Yeah.
Friday.
Okay.
Which dovetails perfectly, of course, because the Cubs open their season at Wrigley Field Thursday. Daytime high 45 with a 50% chance of rain. The White Sox open up against Detroit on Friday.
Yes, they do.
On the road, 40 degrees, overnight low 28, a 50% chance of a wintry mix. But I'm sure it's a lot nicer north of here.
In Detroit.
Yeah. So I wouldn't worry about a thing.
Detroit is known for having gray. Actually, I think Detroit might, is Detroit or Pittsburgh, they might have the most snow outs in baseball.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, it's one of the two.
I would guess Detroit.
It might be,
probably.
yeah.
I don't know why.
Closer to the lake.
I'm guessing
that.
yeah, lake effect coming through there. Well, nonetheless, it'll be dicey. We'll see what happens here. Some of the changes that we can look forward to with the season this year, of course, we have a universal DH, which simply it's designated hitter in both leagues. No real change to the overall concept of the designated hitter. We've got the ghost man or the zombie runner on second base beginning in the 10th inning.
Okay.
Although you and I thought the 12th would be a better place for that.
Yes, it would.
But they didn't care what we
fine.
thought. Anything else that's really jumping out?
The bigger bases.
Oh, the bigger bases are in play.
Bigger bases. The review. The review process, the umpires will now have a microphone. They will address the crowd, which I have seen. This is one of the more polarizing things that doesn't really matter that I've seen. Because I think I'm in your camp. I'm like, yeah, good. Let us know.
Right.
And then some other people say, well, the rules of baseball are so simple. We don't need to slow it down. I don't need Tim Edmonds telling me what's going on. How much longer do you think it's going to take?
Yeah, because whatever the explanation should be, it should take less than 15 seconds.
I mean, because you're right. The rules of baseball are a little less convoluted than football or some other things that might need.
Runner stepped outside the baseline trying to prevent the catcher's throw to first base. He's been declared out. All right, that was 3.4 seconds.
Yeah. You talk to all your umpires and say, hey, this isn't your time to shine. This is you have 5 seconds or less on any time you crack that mic. Actually, we got a timer on this mic. It's going to turn off in 5 seconds. All right.
So get it out there. Right. And for people who don't talk for a living, 5 seconds is a lot of time to get out a couple of sentences.
Plenty of
fine.
time. Yes.
So Country Joe West, I'm sure many people joking, just kicking himself, retires, and then they go with the microphone. There's a guy who would have loved the microphone.
Oh, he would have busted into song.
Right. Right. Well, here's the other thing baseball's looking at. Not a change now, but maybe down the line and maybe sooner than you think. Imagine, it says here, Clayton Kershaw on the mound, Game 7 of the World Series, peering at his catcher in a big moment, and the catcher flashes no sign whatsoever.
It's already happening in college baseball.
Yep. Day could be coming soon. MLB is stepping up its experimentation with an electronic communication channel for pitchers and catchers. After trying out the PitchCom system at Low A West in the second half of last season, big league clubs are tinkering with the technology during spring training. If the development is met with widespread acclaim, the system could be used in Major League Baseball this year.
Really?
Current plan is to work it in at Double A this summer. Tony La Russa, quote, very much in favor. I think it speeds the game up. Wondering, hoping they make it official. But our experience has been a good one. With the PitchCom system, the catcher wears a wristband with 9 buttons calling for the pitch and location. There is a receiver in the pitcher's cap and another one in the catcher's helmet. Multiple languages are available for the encrypted channel. No need for traditional signs, no wiggling fingers, nothing. New York Yankees manager Aaron Boone even tried a little experiment with the experiment. An hour before Saturday's game with Atlanta, he told starting pitcher Luis Severino they were going to try the system with the catcher. We sprung it on Sevy at 12:15 before he was going out. He was game for it, but we sprung it on him. No hiccups, no problems. And that was our first game doing it, so that's a good thing. Hopefully it's something they can get better at doing really fast.
Okay.
Severino pitched 4 innings of 1-hit ball. He liked it as far as using it in the regular season. Boone, quote, I want to keep flushing out the best that we can, but my first impression of it, I feel like we're onto something. I thought it was really good. Baltimore Orioles pitcher Bruce Zimmerman agreed. Not as awkward as I thought it was going to be. And actually, I think it's really nice because you can speed up the game at your own will. I don't think it will be too much of a learning curve for a lot of guys. I was initially against it. Then I used it. I'm for it.
And a couple other things too. And if it's the same system I've been seeing used in college occasionally, all players are wearing this device.
Okay, this is just pitchers and catchers in this particular incarnation.
Just pitchers and catchers. Yep. Okay, because there's another factor where everybody wears the device and everybody in the field knows what pitch is coming. I'm kind of surprised that baseball's embracing it because this seems to favor only the defense, right? I don't see a benefit from the offense coming out of this, other than maybe pace of play, get you more in the rhythm. But I see this just benefiting the defense. I understand. I kind of don't like it myself. I know this sounds like old man baseball, get off my lawn kind of stuff, but I kind of like the cat and mouse game of the signs.
Yeah,
I think it is part of the game.
Yeah,
I think.
I agree.
I don't know.
I don't have a problem with it. If they drop this immediately and just we're going to do it, we've always done it. You're going to have to come up with some better signals. Something. Yeah. If you don't, the other team will figure out what you're doing. We're just not going to let them use video to do it.
Exactly. That's just part of the game, I think, is that. Now, that being said, I mean, we've seen advancements of baseball throughout ages, and we've always found a new way to cheat whatever system is going on right now. Sure. So part of me is almost excited to say, well, let's get the new system in place and find out what the Astros are going to do now, because, or the Yankees, like who's going to game the system? Because that's like it or not, it is part of baseball.
Oh, on their staff already. All right, we're going to be trying out this experiment here. You figure out how to poke holes in it and if we can break it. Okay, no problem.
So if let's say everyone on the field has some device on their arm that says what play's coming up. The way they can do sabermetrics or I don't know if that's even the right word, but analytics where they run the models and they know that if Lurie Garcia is throwing this pitch at this time to this batter, it's probably going to go here. That way you can move your defenders around. If you had some sort of like buzzer system, Astros, move right, left, up, back, and you could perfectly place your infielders and outfielders automatically. Like, this isn't even a coach. This is just the algorithm goes, this is this, this, and now everyone needs to go here.
Yep. Everyone take 2 steps to your left, move back 1. Perfect.
Right. It just seems to be a way for defenses to really up the game and destroy offenses, which historically has not been what baseball's for. That's
not what baseball fans are looking for either.
Exactly.
Orioles catcher Anthony Benboom offered a positive report with a few concerns. Quote, it's just a little bit bulky on your wristband. Didn't happen the other day, but the ball could hit the wristband on a block. It could bounce one way or the other. There were a couple of times when I hit it on my shin guard, giving regular signs with no one on. It said knuckleball, and he's throwing fastball, but other than that, everything was fine. PitchCom system is one of several potential changes MLB is looking at this year. Bigger bases, pitch clocks, limits on pickoff attempts for every full season affiliate in the minors. Defensive shifts have been banned for each Class A and Class AA. College baseball is already using an electronic system for calling pitches with game day signals. The calls are relayed from the dugout to a receiver on the pitcher's wrist. Vanderbilt coach Tim Corbin, shaving time off the college game is, I would think, a good thing for everyone, especially the consumer, and especially when it's 25 degrees on a Friday night in Nashville.
Okay, yep.
MLB wants to speed the game up. Average time of a 9-inning game last year's regular season, 3 hours, 10 minutes, and 7 seconds. That's up from 3:07:46 from the pandemic-shortened 2020 season and up from 3:05:35 in 2019. We're literally going the opposite direction of what they claim to want to do.
I know we're going that way. I'm kind of officially out on complaining about length of games.
I've never been one who complained about it. It is what it is.
It is what it is, and we're talking about a difference between like 30 minutes from the past, whatever.
It isn't the length of the game that's the problem. It's the scoring. It's the amount of strikeouts. It's a home run or nothing.
The entertainment value
you've decreased the entertainment value of the sport so much.
Yeah, so I'll be surprised if baseball goes for this. It just sounds. And does they have to be catcher to pitcher?
That's the way this is designed. Yep. It says when players are on base, especially at second, game bogs down as pitchers and catchers switch up signs in an effort to shield the calls from their opponent with an electronic channel. No longer an issue. White Sox right-hander Dylan Cease, quote, I like it. It's nice. It gives the hitters zero chance of knowing what's coming. It could also eliminate sign stealing altogether.
I'm sorry. Did you say the manager gets one too?
In college.
In college,
the way it's being
yeah.
played out in college right now is, college game day signals is what it's called in college.
Okay.
They are relayed from the dugout to a receiver on the pitcher's wrist. I would think you'd want to clue the catcher in too.
Yeah, I would think so. Yeah, because I think that's the way the college, the pitcher and catcher aren't even really calling signs at all. It's all coming from the manager, and he's placing everybody how to go on the field. Which do you think? Can the pitcher shake the catcher off still?
Another good question.
Is there a cancel button?
Yeah, nope.
No.
Is there a no button on there? David Ross, by the way, says he is not sure what it will do to speed up the pace of the game. Quote, I think next spring training, we got a chance to work on it a little bit more and see what you do when you shake off. How often do you use it? Do you use it with nobody on? Do you use it with a guy on first or just a guy on second? Making sure everyone's comfortable and in rhythm and feel like that's a norm is what is important to me.
Yeah, there's going to be some catchers that don't like it because I'm assuming you grow up, 30, 40 years of doing it and you have your own mechanics. And now just the muscle memory of moving your hand over to your wrist. I mean, it's an awkward move, kind of.
It is. It is.
You got gloves on and you're off.
We'll see. Anyway, they're going to work it out in Double-A this year. There is a chance if they have massive success and if Tony La Russa and Aaron Boone are any indicator, they're ready for it to come to the major leagues. That could be what drives it.
It's been good in college baseball. Have you caught any college baseball?
I haven't caught college baseball in years.
Has it crossed your radar at all?
I think I went to lunch last summer, and it was up on one of the screens in the place we were in. It was a college baseball something or other going on.
Okay.
Vanderbilt was playing. I do know that much.
It's growing. It's becoming a lot more popular. It was absolutely nothing a couple years ago, and it's like the legend of Omaha and the tournament. And I've heard more about this like preseason college baseball than I ever have. Like I'm hearing about prospects coming up that you haven't. So if you see some college baseball, it's fun. It's a pretty wild atmosphere out there.
And you might get a look at this system we're talking about, too.
Yeah, it's good times right now.
848, News Talk 1440.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer, he hears things differently. To the untrained ear, everything on his shop floor might sound fine, but he can hear gears grinding or a belt slipping. So he steps in to fix the problem at hand before it gets out of hand. And he knows Grainger's got the right product he needs to get the job done, which is music to his ears. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.